So he jumps, he beats the guy down and he starts punching him and he's hitting him in the face and they're stabbing him and killing him. And then he realizes he's punching the concrete and he's got his knuckles are bloody, right? So he's got real bloody knuckles because he saw something that wasn't there, right? So the effect of what he saw was very real, even though the actual image was not a real image. So a something that was not real had a very real effect. His knuckles really are bloody now because he was so committed to punching on the concrete. If you remember the song, right? And he said, "God damn, homie, my mind is playing tricks on me," right? So what happens with stock splits is that even though stock splits are not real, even though I can tell you all day how it does not change the value of the company, even though it does nothing to add to the true fundamental economic value of Nvidia, it typically, based on research, has a very real impact on the way shareholders respond to that company. It has a very real impact on the price of the stock. It has a very real impact on shareholder sentiment. And because shareholder sentiment, meaning their emotion, their enthusiasm, drives stock prices. So what can occur is, and what I don't know, I got to go look to confirm this happened with Nvidia because the stock split just happened on Friday. I want to see what the price does this week. But what typically can occur is that the price moves up because there's a stock split. And people are like, well, why would people have a very real economic reaction to something that was completely fake? Well, there's a couple of theories on this, and the two theories fit into two major camps. One is what they call the clientele effect. The clientele effect says that when your stock is priced at, say, $3,000 a share, you're going to attract a different investing clientele than you will if the stock is priced at $100 a share. So when you do the stock split and you take this big stock price of 3,000 and you drop it to 100, a lot of people are like, "Hey, I can afford it now," right? Like for example, let me ask y'all this question. Give me a yes or no in the chat. How many of you feel like Nvidia stock is more affordable now that the price is 105 or something versus when it was over 1,000? How many of you looked at it and said, "Ooh, I can buy me some Nvidia now, y'all. I'm in. I'm in." Right? How many of you felt that way? How many of you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get me some shares of Nvidia. I get to participate." Right? So that's fine. That's the clientele effect. You're like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy." So when you are when you feel like when you expand that clientele, then what that does is that can boost the price because you're boosting demand. Any good, of limited supply, if you increase the demand for that thing, then people tend to, then the price tends to go up. Makes sense, right? Here's the problem with the clientele effect, and I hate to break this to you, but I got to go back to my homies with the ghetto boys. Your mind is playing tricks on you. Your mind is playing tricks. There's Nvidia is not more affordable at $100 a share than it was at 1,000. Has anybody ever heard of fractional shares? Does anybody know? Give me a yes if you know what fractional shares are and what that means. Give me a yes. So you could have bought Nvidia even when it was over 1,000, even if you had $20 to spend. You could buy because fractional shares. Now, the clientele effect made sense in like 1985, where you had to buy an entire share. It doesn't make sense in 2024, where you can buy a piece of a share. You can buy $20 worth of Nvidia, and you would get the exact same effect as an investor as you would if you bought 20 shares, $20 worth of Nvidia 6 months ago. It's the same. It doesn't change anything. But, sometimes perception becomes reality. So yeah, so shout out to the ghetto boys. Your mind is playing tricks on you, but it's okay. If that makes you, if that inspires you to invest, if that makes you feel like, okay, I can afford it now, then that's fine. Whatever it takes to get you across the line, I support that. I want everybody in here investing in the stock market because the stock market is the number one wealth generator in the history of this country. And I don't want you to miss that. Don't let things scare you out of it. Yeah, you can lose money. Yeah, things can go wrong. Yeah, there's corrupt people everywhere. But Lord Jesus, why would you just miss out on everything? It's like somebody saying I'll never get in a car because people have car crashes. No, you should cars are good. Just drive them safely. That's what I say. Just drive the car safely and don't get into a race car or a hoopty or somebody who don't let Stevie Wonder drive you around the city and you're gonna be okay. And that's the problem. That's why you see so many financial horror stories all throughout the internet because you have lots of financial influencers who've never been trained, who don't understand how the market works, who are literally Stevie Wonder saying, "Hey, I'm gonna show you around," and then the car crashes and people die, and then everybody looks back and says, "Oh my God, the stock market's bad." No, the stock market's not bad. Your driver was bad. The stock market's not bad. That hoopty was bad. The stock market's not bad. The decision making was bad. The way you went about the process was bad, right? Lots of people have been killed in a car, but cars can be wonderful if you know how to drive and if you know what a safe car looks like. If y'all don't know the word hoopty, I'm giving away my age. That's y'all still know what hoopties are, right? Do Gen Zers know what a hoopty is? If you don't, then you should know these things. This is important information, right? A hoopty is like a raggedy car. My first car was a hoopty. It was a my mom and daddy gave me this like Pontiac or something, and I lost it. I lost it. Let me tell you how I lost my car. I'd never told the story before. I was in the car, and one day I got really mad, and I wasn't emotionally mature because I was 17. And so I just hit the gas and I floored the car, and I was going like 100 miles an hour for like 3 seconds, and then I stopped. I slowed down. The problem was that I was going like about 100 miles an hour in a like a 35, 45 mile an hour zone. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. And I got pulled over, and I was lucky because my dad was a cop, and the cop did not take me to jail because my dad was a cop, but my father went to court and told them to suspend my license. So yes, I did have a suspended license, and I did lose my car. So I learned a valuable lesson from that experience. It was a very bad decision on my part. So that was my first experience with the hoopty. All right. So anyway, all right. So let's get back to Nvidia in the stock split. So we got to stay focused here, boys. All right. So here we go. All right. So Nvidia, you have the stock split, or you have the clientele effect, which says that because the stock split reduces the price, you attract a different clientele, which can improve the price because people want to now buy your stock.